Welcome, my friends, to another edition of the Heritage Wealth Planning YouTube channel. Today is going to be part 4 of our conversation monologue on the various mutual fund companies that are out there, investment firms, the big 5, T. Rowe Price, Fidelity, Vanguard, USAA, and Schwab I'll do next. And in terms of their online portfolio advisory tools that they have. So we've already covered Vanguard, we've already covered T. Rowe Price, and we've already covered USAA. Today we're going to talk about Fidelity, actually. Let me minimize myself. Have a bunch of friends who work at Fidelity, went from USA to Fidelity, and who came from Fidelity to USAA. Had some friends who went from Schwab or USA to Schwab, from USA to Vanguard. I don't think I had anybody who went to T. Rowe Price. So T. Rowe Price is probably the least of the 5 there that I'm familiar with. But Fidelity, we all know Fidelity, huge company, not the largest, within the top 5, I guess, of the largest firms that are out there in terms of assets under management. You know, they have a similar model to Schwab, where they have a branch on not every corner, but they have branches scattered throughout the United States and areas that have what they think is an investor base they could serve. Right now, I'm not at this stage. I'm not commenting on Fidelity's at all. I just want to talk about their investment products further, like we did with the other firms, in terms of their online recommendation tools. So let's take a look here. So I went to Fidelity.com. That's what I did. So I'm just right here, Fidelity.com, and see all these things here. I mean, just all kinds of stuff. But then I went down. I said, planning and advice. So Fidelity.com, you get all this stuff up here, planning and advice. So I just said planning and advice. So let's click on this guy here real quick. Let me move this guy out of the way. And here we see peace of mind for life's big moments. You can see all that stuff. So end of the day, I wanted to see what they offer, actually. So planning and advice, as your needs in life change, you can read all that. I want to see professionally managed accounts and comprehensive wealth management. At this stage, I don't think I want professionally or comprehensive wealth management, because I'm just looking at the $50,000 kind of threshold to get started is all I really want to see. So let's see where this takes us to. Portfolio advisory services. Yeah, so here I saw Fidelity GO is what I saw. Let's see, portfolio advisory services. Oh, yeah, there we go. All right, well, that's not really what I wanted. So I wanted to go to planning and advice. Bear with me just a second, because they gave us a nice breakdown, actually. I don't know what happened to it. So I went to, let's just go back to Fidelity.com. All right, I'm going to try this. So we're going back to Fidelity.com. Straightforward pricing. Maybe that's what I want. Straightforward pricing. Let's see what that was. Yeah, okay, good. This is what I wanted. All right, so yeah, this is exactly what I want. Portfolio advisory services. So get this exactly. So what you want to do is you want to go to Fidelity.com, and then you'll see straightforward pricing. And then you go there. It tells you everything they have for all their various accounts. Fantastic. So these are the 2 I want to look at. Fidelity Portfolio Advisory Services and Fidelity GO. Both have the minimums that our average person that we're using 50,000 can start with. The personalized services and SMA, separately managed accounts, I'm not looking at that at this stage. And neither did I do with the other firms either. So Fidelity GO, we'll start with them. That's going to be your robo advisor, and they call it digital advisor, which means you're probably not going to talk to anybody. You just do it yourself. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. But if you want to talk to somebody, you need Fidelity Portfolio Advisory Services with a $50,000 minimum. And the fee is 0.6 to 1.7. And the fee on the digital advisor is 0.35. And so, I mean, the difference between 0.35 and this is the guy or lady you're talking to. That's what it comes down to. Let's look at some of the small print. Number 6. Let's see what it says here. Number 6, the advisory fee does not cover charges resulting from trades affected with or through broker dealers other than affiliates of strategic advisors, markup, markdowns by broker dealers, transfer taxes, exchange fees, regulatory fees, ad law differentials, handling charges, electronic fund, wire transfer fees, and other charges imposed by law. You will also incur underlying expenses associated with the investment vehicle selected. That's actually a pretty important one. So we want to look at that because the investment vehicle selected will give us the the total cost of how much is going to total our total fee, our all-in fee. Having a hard time getting that out of my mouth. All right, so let's look at this. Fidelity GO. Can I click on that guy there? Nope. So let's go. We want portfolio advisory services, and we want Fidelity GO. So let's see what happens when we compare services and fees. All right, right here. Sweet. Fidelity GO. So let's start with this. Again, it's a $5,000 minimum. 0.35 is the advisory fee. Will it let me do anything? Actually, they say minimum investment, nothing. Okay. I thought they said 5,000 before, so I'm not sure what that's about, but okay. 0.35 may be reduced by a variable fee credit. What is that? The Fidelity GO program advisory fee does not include the expenses of the underlying mutual funds held in your account. These are standard expenses paid by all. To the extent some of these underlying fund expenses will be paid to us, the amount will be credited against the gross program advisory fee. Okay, so basically all that's saying is that if they're going to use Fidelity funds that have an expense in there, they're going to rebate that to you because you're basically paying that expense right here. All right, so let's see here. Can we click on to give us a model portfolio to see what's in there? That was what I had a hard time with Vanguard. You couldn't really do that. USA, you could. I didn't like it, but you could. The digital advisor I liked quite a bit, but and T. Rowe Price you could as well. All right, so let's see. Explore Fidelity GO. Build straight strategies. Okay. Well, let's see. See how you? Okay, I was born 1970. It's telling us what we can just do our little risk tolerance questionnaire. Remember, every firm has these RTQs, risk tolerance questionnaires, which we'll just say it's just me, which is how they define a level of risk they can take. And I'll just say I'm investing for retirement. My account type is an IRA. We'll just use that for example. And we're going to say I have $50,000, and we're not going to contribute anything. All right. My household annual income before tax, we'll just say, what did I say, $75,000 before. We'll say I'm a 8 on the risk scale. I think that's pretty close to what I was with T. Rowe and USA and Vanguard. All right, so let's see what they give us here. It'll be interesting to see. And again, this is going to give us the results of their digital investment advisor of the portfolio recommendations, I'm hoping. All right. Oh, yeah, sweet. So, yeah, good. 70-30, exactly what I was hoping for. So, we suggest this strategy. Our suggestion for your Fidelity GO account is based on the information provided, so it wasn't very detailed, but I'm fine with that. They're saying roughly 50% in U.S. stocks, 20% bond and foreign stocks, 25% in bonds, and 5% short term. So we'll do sample investments. So let's see this. All right. So they're so much more diversified than the Vanguard. Not the digital advisor, but the Vanguard. When we did the thing where it just spit out some mutual funds, it's much more diversified than that. That's for sure. I like that. So they have all Fidelity funds. It's diversified. They got 40 of the 50% in stocks of U.S. stocks. Yeah, of the 50% U.S. stocks, 40% of that. Is that right? Of the 50% or 49% in U.S. stocks. No. So basically half the portfolio is in U.S. stocks, of which 40% of that is in U.S. large cap S&P 500, 5% is in small cap, and 4% is in the index. That's interesting. I'm just curious to see what the expense ratios are on these funds. So let's check it out here. And they're using the index funds too, which I like. Let's see what we have, because index funds typically are a whole heck of a lot cheaper than active funds. So let's see what we've got here. I know the very exciting stuff here, right? So here's our summary: small cap index fund. Presumably that's going to be the Russell 2000 or something. Morningstar expenses low, risk of losses high. Ooh, my friends, look at that. Does it cost anything? No fee internally in there. No fee. And I'm sure I'm just going off yeah, right there, Russell 2000. So they're tracking the Russell 2000, which is a small cap index, and they have no expense ratio. So you're truly getting this portfolio, at least on this fund, for 0.35. I'm going to look at international. Let's see about international, which is pretty impressive if you ask me. One thing I'm not sure about, we can find out actually, is do they actually do rebalancing? The nice thing about the robo advisors, they'll rebalance it for you. I'm not sure the specifics on when they do that, but they'll keep probably once a year, maybe twice a year, just keep you with, all right. So they're not charging anything. Basically, what you're paying for is you're paying the 0.35 and you're getting these funds free of clear of charge. That's impressive, my friends. That is impressive. That is impressive. I'm a fan. I'm a fan. That's all right. Let's go back. All right, so that's interesting. I'm a big fan of that. So now I want to go back to their portfolio advisory services. Let's see where this takes us. Let me close out there. Okay. So now I want to go back. I want to get out of Fidelity Go and go to, look at that. So $50,000, I think it just said your estimate. It said right. 14 cost me $15 a month. If you don't need a handheld, you just can't beat that. Or if you do like I do, which you should actually, is find somebody who will charge you a financial planning fee, you're just not going to beat this. You're not going to beat that. I'm just amazed at the cost compression that we're seeing now in the business. It's all right, right here. Making your own investments takes time. With the Fidelity Go managed account and a team of professionals, monitor the markets using technology to help make trading decisions. You monitor your account daily, make sure it remains aligned with your strategy. If your account strays from the strategy, we'll change the weighting. So they're doing the rebalancing. Most investments come with fees and expenses. They make a big difference. Lower fees leave you more money to invest. I am a fan of that. There's no getting around that. I am a fan of that. So can I go back to? I want to see the other one. All right, so we're just going to start from scratch again. So that Fidelity Go is impressive to me, my friends. That's 0.35, a bunch of index funds automatically trades for you. That's impressive. All right, so let's go down here. I want to see the I want to see the portfolio advisory services next. Let's see what we got. Now that's going to be more expensive, and I presume because you're talking to people, yeah, you're going to talk to actually a mix of funds, potential ETFs, all Fidelity funds, emphasis on index products, defensive strategy. It doesn't really say. Presumably that means you get to talk to someone on the phone. I don't know when. Like, do you have to? I'm not sure how that works, but strategy to help you with investment, other savings goals. Ability to customize your based on your investment approach and fund selection. A team of experienced professionals make ongoing investment decisions for you. Type of investments, annual advisory fee based on total assets, strategic advice, Fidelity Investment Company. All right. So what we had at my previous firm is you basically once you put your account in, you just call somebody on occasion. They didn't really do any outbound call. You call somebody in to talk to you about your portfolio, and that's fine. It's just speak with investment. Okay. So here, if you want to start this, you got to speak to someone on the phone, go to Investor Center, have somebody call you. All right. So that's not really what I want to do. More portfolio advisory services overview. Let's care more about your investment team. Let's just see what they have in here. Remember, the advisory fee is 0.6 to 1.7. I'm not sure what the breakdown is. Presumably 1.7 for $50,000, which is pretty high. Pretty high, that's for sure. I'm just wondering if they have the breakdown of the funds that they use. No. Now, they did say ETF and mutual funds, but they didn't say. All right, there we go. I thought I shut you guys off. See all strategies and pricing. Oh, wait, I just went back. So I'm not, maybe let me, hold on just 1 second. I screwed up. All right, so let me go back to this here. I just want to see what the funds. That's all I want to see. All right, so professional money management. Let's see what they show us, what the investments are in here. They're still using all Fidelity funds. My concern is if you're paying 1.7 on top of Fidelity funds, which have expense ratios as well, that's going to get very, very pricey. So here's a brochure. All right, takes vision. Yes, it does. Can I just go down here? Come on. Definitely not moving fast. All right, here we go. See what we got here. Yeah, it doesn't really tell us what they're using. So you said mutual funds are using, portfolio advisory services. A portfolio that may contain individual securities, ETFs, or mutual funds. It's not telling me what they have in there. So I'm just going to assume that they're using low-cost index funds for the bulk. I highly suspect they're not using individual securities, not for an account size of $50,000. I don't know if they're using their no-fee ETFs in there as well. I don't know. I would think, my presumptions are not, even though they probably should. But hands off so you can do all the work. Hand off the hard work. Well, it's not really that hard. But let me just see real quick if they say, sorry, my nose itches. These advisory services are provided for fee. We already talked about that. Okay, so they're not saying what they're using in here. That's expensive. I mean, that 1.7 on $50,000. That's expensive. I wish they'd tell you the breakdown of their fees. Let's just click on learn more about your investment team. Because I mean, literally, it could be 1.7 up to $100,000, 1.7 up to $200,000. I don't know. Here are the happy guys, Brian and Bruce. All right, Bruce. That's fine. BlackRock. So they're using, some of the, I've never heard of those guys. That doesn't mean anything, but all right. So I don't know. I'm not sure what they're doing. That neither good nor bad. Oh, here we go. Strategies and pricing. Real quick though. I just want to see how much it costs for someone with, say, $100,000 or $50,000, and it just doesn't tell us. All right. And I'd also like to know what they're investing in. So it just doesn't tell. So I'm just going to have to say at the end of the day, if you have $50,000, that one's going to be too expensive. I mean, there's no way. 1.7, presumably they're going to have the fees in there. Even if it's ETFs, let's say 15 basis points, you're looking at about 2% roughly in this account. I might be missing something. I can't imagine using individual securities with an account with $50,000. That would not be good. So it's going to be mutual funds and ETFs. They're all Fidelity funds, so presumably some of the mutual funds and or ETFs they're using in here are going to be no fee, like the Fidelity GO one. Fidelity GO was phenomenal, without question. Phenomenal. The best I've seen. Fidelity Portfolio Advisory Services, the exact opposite. I'm not saying it's the worst I've seen, but I would not touch that. That's just, that has no appeal to me whatsoever. And that's pretty much it. I'm a huge fan of Fidelity GO. I think you should look at that if you're looking at that, for sure. Keep it simple, stupid. I will look at Betterment. Betterment does another one too. I'm just curious to see what Betterment would offer relative to what Fidelity GO would offer. The nice thing about Fidelity is bigger, so you have a little bit more feeling of security. Betterment, very few people have heard of them. They advertise a little bit, but not much, where everyone knows what Fidelity is. So to pay an extra couple bucks for Fidelity is probably worth it, frankly. But I am going to look at Betterment. I'll add another one to this little model that we're doing here. That Fidelity GO is sweet. No other way around that. The Fidelity Portfolio Advisory Services, no, not sweet. Not sweet. No, go with the Fidelity GO, and if you need someone to help you, go call Garrett Financial Planning Network. Get somebody to pay an hour. Call me. Go to XY Planning Network. Get some hourly person or something like that, or $500. Say I want to pay you $250 to overlook my portfolio. But this right here, I do not like in the least. Not in the least. That's way too expensive. All right, well, that's it. Hope this has been helpful. As always, give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and put comments down there and hit the little notification bell. And we'll do Schwab next time. So if you have any questions or comments, put them in here in the show notes. Look forward to seeing you next time on the Heritage Wealth Planning YouTube channel. Thanks, guys.